Hey guys, I'm Raina.
I'm Marley.
And we are R&M. So today we're going to talk about something that's a little bit different that I honestly think is important to talk about, because even though it's a little bit sad, I think these are the moments in life that are hard conversation but a much needed conversation, and that is the death of Nipsey Hussle. I had to be really honest with y'all. I haven't listened to a lot of his music, nor did I know like really in depth of who he was. But what I can say is like there's certain people you just know that they're different. And every time I would hear about him, hearing about his investments and everything he was doing for his black people, or just his people in general, the fact that he came from the hood and went out, did something, and then came back to the hood, it was just like not a lot of people were doing that. And I think one of the most things that got me interested and kind of tuned into him was the fact that Lauren London was with him, because you know I grew up with Lauren London. All of us were like into Lauren London, and then we see this guy come out with her, and we're like, who is he? And then you look more in depth into it, and you're like, wait, he's been here the whole time. You know, the We Are the World rapping thing for Haiti, he was in there. Mm-hmm. So he was always around. So then it made me want to figure out who this guy was. How do you feel about him before I keep on rambling?
Okay, so yeah, I did not listen to most of his music. I just know that he was getting recognized for a lot of things. I know his album was getting like good views, and he was invited to do Title, and like he was around a lot of influential people. And I did know him from Lauren London too, also that I know that he was like helping out his community. But I think the thing that was most like surprised me about him is that feel like most of these rappers, when they finally leave the hood, sometimes they don't go back and reform it. They just leave. They like just jet. He went back and went to like reform his community, which is a really good thing that most rappers should be doing.
Well, I think it's very easy to say that, but it's like a lot of people don't do it out of fear, and for fear of what happened in this situation. When you're growing, when you're becoming bigger, when you're bettering your community, there's a lot of jealous people that felt like they should have been there with you or hated you since jump, and now they feel as if like they're envious of you and where you're at. And that's something you need to be scared of. Or there's just people that don't even hate you, but they struggling with their bills, and instead of asking you, they're just like, hey, this is a person with a lot of money, let's just go shoot them up. So that's why a lot of celebrities and a lot of black people, or just people in general, don't go back to where they came from. It's because they have this fear of being killed, because the worst and the most dangerous place to be once you become a celebrity is where you were raised. And that's really sad. You got to see this situation that just happened. It's like a really sad situation where like he helped this community. He made a store in this community. Like he came back to this community to help it. And while he was in this community, in the store that he made for this community, he got shot. It's just like, it's just so messed up kind of. And I know like for me, when I heard it, it was just like this, I just felt like this kind of like saddening rush go through my body. I didn't want to believe it. I thought like this must be a lie. Even right now, when I go through my timeline on Instagram, it doesn't seem like he's dead. Like I know all of them are saying that he's dead, but then like when you're looking at it, you just like, but that face doesn't look like a face that would be dead. It's just like, it's just so weird. And the fact that like not even a month ago, or maybe a month ago, you saw the GQ magazine, you know, with him and Lauren, and it just seemed like he was about to pop. Like he seemed like he was about to shoot up. Like I think he was doing stuff with Drake, with DJ Khaled, with Rock Nation, Jay-Z. You just had a feeling like what he's about to do next. Like you thought he was about to be the next Like, no, like he's already big. He's big on his own, but you just felt like he was about to be one of the number one biggest people, influential people. You thought he was gonna go to the J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar level, you know? I just, with everything that was going on, and then he was shot. So that was, it was just kind of like, whoa. You know, it's just like the same feeling kind of you would have like a year ago while Cardi B was going on the up and up. If Cardi B was to die a year ago, you would have felt exactly like that. Like, we were rooting for you. We saw you about to go up, and then, I don't know, it's just so weird. I just wanted to ask one question to Marley, because this question has been on my mind. Ever since I heard he died, this question has been on my mind. Would you rather be with a man who played it safe and did everything he was supposed to, you know, went to school, you know, did a 9 to 5, came home to you, but everything was still the same. All the black people were still oppressed. Your people weren't getting the same rights as they should. People were mistreating you. Or would you rather be with a man that saw those problems, see that your people are not being treated right, see that there's a change that needs to be made, and is strong enough to stand there and be like, I would rather lose my life making a better life for our children and the black community as a whole than to stay here and do nothing and just get in line and do the right thing. That just like sit and obey the way that the system wants me to, and not evolve in any way for my people.
Well, I feel like most of the time when people are doing all the right things, most of the time they do not get like further. They don't really get the recognition that they deserve and something like that. And I would feel like I would want a guy to be mostly helping his people out. Cause
even with the risk that he could die.
Yes. Because, like, with all these leaders, like, with the civil activists, leaders like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, everybody took a risk to help us, like, advance. And if they didn't take that risk, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. Like, even when you think of, like, I feel as one of the reasons why some of our communities and certain people are being so mistreated is because so many of us are so scared of the aftermath of what could happen to us, to our family, blah, blah, blah. And those are very serious and real fears, you know. But it's like, if we don't have that man or that woman, you know, equal opportunity now, to come out there and stand for us, then we're never gonna have a change. And I think that even through his death, he still left his mark. People are still trying to figure out about Dr. Supply. Now people are still looking at where he came from and trying to pick up the pieces of where he left. Though that community is still gonna be helped, because what he started, people will want to continue it. I also feel as if, like, for me too, I feel as if I'd rather be with a man who tries to initiate some type of change, that doesn't just sit there and watch everything happen and like sit and stay, you know, do what certain people want them to do, and don't try to initiate any type of change for their people or their children or anything. Because even if you live, even if your children live, we're still living in a place where they don't have the same rights as certain other nationalities or people. I don't know. But then I feel like that's so easy to say, but then once you have, you know, once you find that man that you marry and you fall in love with, once you have those kids, who knows if your views will now change. And I think it takes a special type of woman to stand behind a man that they know is standing for their people no matter what, and know the risk that that means. And I feel as if Lauren London, she's a strong woman, because she must have known that this was a possibility, and she stood by him, and she stayed in that relationship throughout even those fears. So I give prep to her.
Also, like, they're not letting his documentary on Dr. Sabai let go. Nick Cannon chose to continue his documentary, and it was just so weird because, like, it was like, I don't know exactly when he died, but when he died, it was like 3 days before when he was doing this questionnaire with Lauren London, and we saw him, and we got to like connect with him more.
Yeah, we felt like we were getting closer to him through the questionnaire, getting to know his personality.
Yeah, and I was like so surprised. I was like, what? Like, I was in denial. I was like, he can't be dead. Like, he was just like right here on this screen. How can he be like? How can he be dead? Like, it was just like something else.
And with that being said, XO.